ما أريد من هذا الشعب إلا أن يزيد في الحمد والشكر إلى الله عز وجل، ويزيد من محبة الوطن، ويزيد من العمل ومضاعفة العمل لما يسعى فيه من خير له وللدولة والأهل. هذا اللي أنا أدوره من الشعب، وربنا إن شاء الله يوفقنا جميعا على ما يحب ويرضى.
I would like to thank our UAE's rulers and the other government authorities of UAE for giving us the opportunity. In UAE currently, all the companies are having its own opportunity to grow, establish and work. Okay, so I believe we are in safe hands with the UAE government to execute our projects as well as our company's growth. It's coming under the UAE's government. Thank you for the government once again for giving us this opportunity.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new episode of Pearls of Union. Today, when you look at a city, you look at the city from the outside, but you don't actually know how it operates on the inside. Today, we're seeing an experience of 15 years and a company of 2 years old. It contributed to many organizations and many projects around the city. Mrooj Infrastructure is the one who builds that invisible layer behind the city. From roads to systems to even the growth behind it. Please allow me to introduce Mr. Roshan Iqbal, the co-founder and director of Mrooj Infra or Mrooj Infrastructure. So, Mr. Iqbal, how are you today?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. First of all, I'm going to be asking about your person, who you are, and your journey. Then we're going to go on with the questions.
Okay.
So can you tell me about your educational process and your journey throughout getting to this position today?
Sure, thank you for the question. Myself Roshan Iqbal, I'm the director of Mrooj Infrastructure Division. So basically, by coming to my professional career, basically I'm a civil engineer. After completing my engineering, I have worked in some of the companies in India, back in India, for gaining the experience. After that, I have joined Al Nabuda Group, who is a main contractor for the major infrastructure works in UAE. So I gained my experience in Al Nabuda as an infrastructure engineer. So I have worked in majority of the major projects like Expo 2020, major bridge works in Business Bay. So after gaining my experience in Al Nabuda, I have joined with Shobha Developers as an head of infrastructure. I worked in Shobha Developers for a majority of my career period. So I got many experience and much more experience related to infrastructure and development, planning, project execution and completion of the project with proper safety, quality and compliance.
That's a really inspirational journey and a professional one as well. So throughout this long journey where you had many stops that were really interesting, did you have any exceptional experiences that you would tell us about today?
Basically, I gained my major experience in infrastructure where we are doing all the type of authority related jobs like potable water, sewerage network, electricity, road works, etc. So these are the challenging jobs if you are comparing this to another type of construction. So after completing my journey in Al Nabuda, I thought of doing something more with my own vision. So I got an opportunity to join with the Al Mrooj Group by establishing the infrastructure division with Mr. Ahmad Al Sulaiman, who is the founder of this group. So that's about my experience and related to the job functions. Infrastructure is a very special division where we need to follow all kind of authority standards. Our works are already, almost all the works are being monitored by the government local authorities. So we basically work for Dubai Municipality, Dubai Roads and Transport Authority, Dubai Electricity and Water Department. And this is about our infrastructure journey in Mrooj.
That's amazing. What other skills did you develop and values that you strive to uphold today?
Basically, as I mentioned in my previous answer, basically I gained much experience from the previous companies from Al Nabuda, Shoba, and many other companies where I worked in back in India as well. So, other than technical skills, I studied or I learned how to handle a team. Technical knowledge itself is not enough to carry out a company actually. The teamwork, managing the HR, managing the planning, managing the administration, and by creating this department, I think that I am grown up to a level of handling a company by myself. So I again thanks to the the owner of this company for giving me an opportunity to establish this division as per my requirements and my suggestions. So that's about the.
Of course. So since we always know that the team is a big part of what you have and what you own and what you develop.
Yes.
Who's someone that contributed to who you are today, Mr. Iqbal?
Yeah, sure. Actually, this is a core question for me. So basically, I would like to thank many people, many individuals in UAE as well as back in India. First of all, I would like to thank Mr. Khalid Said, who was the operations manager of Al Nabuda Group, who trusted in my experience and who trusted in me for assigning me with this particular job back in Nabuda. And I really would like to thank Mr. Sudhir Ravindran Nair, who was a teacher for me. Like in our language, we will say is a guru. So from him, I have learned the basics of infrastructure. And also, I would like to thank Mr. Muhammad Rushdi, who was my senior during my journey in Al Nabuda. And by coming back to Shoba Group, I would like to give a big thanks to the management and especially the managing director of the company, Mr. Francis Alfred, who believed in me and assigned me the target and the task of heading the infrastructure division. As I spent my majority of the career in Shoba, so I have learned many things from the works what I have done in Shoba. So I have completed multiple projects with the Shoba Group. And then after I thought of, as I mentioned in my previous answer, I thought of doing something more, much more with my vision and my technical investment. So during that thought, I thought of having a discussion with the Al Mrooj Group. And I would like to thank Mr. Ahmad Al Sulaiman, who is the owner, for giving me this opportunity by trusting me to create this infrastructure division back in UAE.
Of course, it's really kind and nice of you to remember each person that helped you to move one step ahead in your life and process. So now I'm going to be going into the company more and the infrastructure company that you built. So how has Al Mrooj Infrastructure developed diverse expertise across infrastructure sectors, like the sectors that you mentioned earlier, such as utilities, roads, systems, and environments like oil and gas?
Basically, Al Mrooj Infrastructure totally concentrates on deep services and road works. So, as I mentioned earlier, Al Mrooj in infrastructure, we have our own specialist team to do all kind of 3D simulations, program assessments, and coordination with authority. And basically, infrastructure is a division we mainly execute based on the NOCs, like non-objection certificates from the authorities. So that is the major challenge what we are facing to obtain the non-objection certificate from the authority. And a good point that we have obtained our RTA pre-qualification from Dubai Roads and Transport Authority by recognizing our company and our staffs in RTA after passing a major interview with RTA group.
Of course, that's amazing.
Thank you.
Can you tell us some about the projects that you built that you're really proud of today?
Yeah, basically, if I am saying about the group of companies, Al Mrooj, we were totally proud to say that we have worked in our investment in Dubai major projects like Expo 2020, like Dubai Mall, projects like Burj Khalifa. We have done the enabling works for majority of these projects. And currently for infrastructure division, we are doing mainly activities for Dubai municipality work projects back in Lisaili in Dubai. And we are now tendering for much more authority related projects.
Of course.
That's about our projects updates.
Of course, that's really nice of you to tell us. Actually, you mentioned earlier the 3D simulation.
Yes.
Can you tell me more about how you're embedding these technologies and AI and 3D simulations into your work, and how is it helping and reducing the risk?
Sure. Basically, in case if I'm talking about the demolition and the other group of companies, they are having their own softwares for creating all the 3D simulations. For example, if we are demolishing a 10-story building, okay, normally there will be a method statement for all these particular items. But in our company, the demolition group is preparing everything on a 3D software. So we can specifically show the client how we are planning to do the demolition and the execution from various positions, what will be the distance from the nearby roads, etc. And by coming to infrastructure division, we have our own civil 3D softwares for mainly the major kind of earthworks, cut and fills, then set path analysis, what we are doing for the designing of roads. By doing all these 3D simulations only, we may able to design the curvature as well as the design of the final roads.
That's really nice that you give the customer an actual look and reality of the experience and of the project that he has in mind. So you basically paint an art for him of his idea, then you start working on it. That's amazing. Additionally, you actually got to 85% of recycling process. So how are you contributing to that big amount, and how are you embedding sustainability rules today in Mrooj infrastructure?
Yeah, basically we are a company who looks forward about the sustainability, as the government, UAE government is much more interested in companies, construction companies, to invest in sustainability. For Mrooj, what our demolition department, demolition is a process that we demolish the existing structures like the concrete structures. What we are doing is that we will be utilizing this material as a recycled. We will send this to the crushers, and we will be reusing these materials without any wastage, and we will be reusing these materials in another projects. And for infrastructure as well, a part of enabling, it's called an enabling job. So demolition is a part of enabling job. So we usually take, for example, if we are doing a demolition or enabling job in a particular open area, there will be trees, garth trees, which is the national tree of UAE. So there are shrubs, trees and existing concrete structures. So what we do is that we will be replacing and replanting this. We will be removing these trees and we will be replanting it into Dubai municipality suggested locations. So I consider this as a sustainable part, and we usually recycle our demolition concrete waste, and we used it as road base for the temporary roads. Even if our consultant or the client is approving this material, we are utilizing this material in another projects. So we are not dumping anything to the dump yard. We are recycling each and every items, maximum like 85 to 90% materials we are recycling, and we are reusing in any projects.
It's amazing actually that a company for infrastructure is embedding that much of sustainability into it. I think that's what differentiates you in the market today actually. Do you have anything else that would differentiate Mrooj infrastructure in the market today?
Mrooj infrastructure, basically, I'm proud to say that we have recently started our particular division, and we could grow in the market by getting more projects from the authorities. So usually the infrastructure works are being awarded to the well-established companies for infrastructure, because it's, as I mentioned earlier, it is a very technical job and we need our own expertise to conduct this activity. So most of the main contractors as well as the clients are not taking any risk by giving this to a newly established division. But we can say that by our experience and our staff members' performance, etc., in our first project with one of the developer, we proved that we can do much more better than the other companies, and we are getting more tenders. We are tendering for many of the infrastructure projects in the markets, and we assure that we can do all the activities with 100% satisfaction by the client, basically the authorities of UAE.
Of course. So since you're embedding many new things since the company was built 2 years ago, you embedded utility services like energy, like water drainage and all of that. So how do you see the future of Mrooj infrastructure since you're adding so many things at once?
So basically, as you mentioned earlier, the drainage system and the sewage system, these are the main nerves of a land. Okay, as you can see, whenever a rain is coming, okay, the road will be flooded with water. So if you are creating or preparing or constructing a better drainage system, now I believe that the UAE government is investing more into drainage systems. So, like if the rain is coming, we don't want to close the road for much more time. Our systems, what we are creating, constructing underneath the ground, the system can carry all this water and this can be discharged to the designated point. And sewage system as well, and the potable water, which will be a we are working like we are constructing the veins of UAE.
That's amazing. You're actually constructing it really well so far.
Yes.
That's amazing. Additionally, what are the key challenges that you're going through today in this industry, since you mentioned it's really competitive nowadays, especially in the oil and gas sectors?
Basically, the key challenges for getting all these projects and for executing all these items is the compliance with the local authority standards. So safety is the first thing. Our company believes on safety. So safety is the major thing. Safety for the family, safety for the technicians. These are the first priority of our company. Second is the quality. I cannot say this as second. We are keeping safety and quality as the first priority. Third, we will consider the program planning, like compliance with all the things, because we can accelerate the process.
Of course.
If we accelerate the process without considering the safety and quality, there will be damages.
Of course.
There will be our company's name will be spoiled in the market.
Yeah.
So basically, we have a strong safety department and strong quality department who checks each and every points what we are doing at the site. So based on their involvement, our company can give a much more better product for the client.
Of course. That's really amazing. And from what you're saying to me today, I think Mrooj Infra will be a really big company in like 5 to 10 years from now.
Thank you. We hope for the
It's
same.
already amazingly large today. We all know about it. I think in the upcoming years it'll even get better.
Yes.
Thank you so much for taking me in this journey. For the closing of this episode, I'd like to ask you if you have any advice for the passionate entrepreneurs nowadays, younger entrepreneurs who has passion in this sector and wants to get into it.
I would like to give an advice to the newly graduated engineers or the newly infrastructure experts that we can do everything if we have a dedication, skill, integrity. Always work with integrity. If we are working with integrity, one time we will get into a position that we can lead a company with our vision and our values.
That's a really amazing message. I think, yeah, you're right. Integrity today counts on everything, since consistency and trust of customers is the demand in Dubai right now. Additionally, do you have any message for the leaders of UAE today and their highnesses?
Definitely. I would like to thank our UAE's rulers and the other government authorities of UAE for giving us the opportunity. In UAE currently, all the companies are having its own opportunity to grow, establish and work. Okay. So I believe we are in safe hands with the UAE government to execute our projects, as well as our company's growth. It's coming under the UAE's government. Thank you for the government once again for giving us this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Mr. Iqbal. It was really nice having you today. We learned a lot from you, especially from a person who built 2 years all of that empire that you have today.
Yes.
Thank you so much for having us. Thank you, our audiences, for watching this episode for today. We learned a lot about Mrooj infrastructure, and it was an amazing journey that we went on. We'll see you on the next episode of Pearls of Union.
العطايا هي تسد وام الشيوخ اللي